It's the #1 Ford fan here. Today I'm going to look at the 2019.5 Ford Transit van. Before I take you through it myself, let's kick it back over to Kosta at Stillwell Ford Unley, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about the inside of the van.
So tech-wise, you've got smart cruise control, which allows you to set following distances and gives the car access to the brakes as well as the accelerator, making it really easy and comfortable to drive and having the car adapt. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So in terms of the technology and the features, it's normally what you'd expect to find in a passenger vehicle. So it's really well kitted out and appointed. The car is really well finished, and I say word car even though it's actually a van, because a lot of the finishes, the premium finish on the steering wheel, the quality of the fabric and the materials used inside the cabin is usually reserved for cars, so they've really given it a lot of attention. One of the good things about the car, it's got a lot of clever storage facilities everywhere over here. It's got extra charging points over there, so you could easily leave devices there charging. It's got cup holders on the sides. And a lot of vans just give you 2 seats in the front, which means that you can only ever have the driver and the passenger. The nice thing with this one is that it actually has 3 full seats, 3 full seat belts, so it's certified for 3 people in the front. So Transit comes optional with a double door setup. The nice thing with the double doors is you can also control how far they open. So you can go with a 90-degree or a 180-degree. It also comes with a single door option if you want it. So sliding door options, you can either have a single sliding door or a double sliding door. This version that we're looking at is the single sliding door. So the other thing that it also has is an extra storage compartment over here, which opens up, magnetically locks to this bulkhead, and then allows you this extra space here at the bottom for extra long items, easy loading.
So this is the 2019.5 Ford Transit van Custom. It's got the 2-litre Ecoboost diesel engine. It also has the 6-speed automatic gearbox. So as far as drive goes, great driving height, good pickup. There's no real complaints about the way that the car drives. It's nice and soft, good turning circle, easy to park, good eye level. This thing drives like a car, there's no doubt about it. The comfort and the technology in this cab here is simply amazing. Like, this is probably one of the most comfortable cars for me to drive, and the way it's laid out and the tech, everything that's in it is just perfect for me. So you've got the tilt adjustable periscoping steering wheel as well. So that's just adds to another level of your being able to customize it for your body size. We've heard this from Kosta earlier on, and I'll probably repeat some things he said, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 compartments. You've also got your sunglass compartment here, and it's actually a sliding shelf. What I like about that is if you've got plastic sunglasses, they don't get hot and bent. If you've got the one that clicks up into the roof in most cars, your sunglasses just get hot, they bend. There's a cabin light here, and there's also a light here and on the mirror on both sides. So you've got a mirror and a courtesy light on both sides of the car. One thing you'll notice is the indicators on the left, which is it's the European style. So obviously that's a bit of a pain, but you put up with that and you eventually learn, and you stop turning your wipers on every time you want to turn a corner. Drink holders, you've got 4 on each side. You've got 1 down here in the door, 1 down here, a bigger one that can take like a bottle or a thermos, like a bigger bottle. You've got 1 here, it's the one I like the most because it's the deepest and the drinks don't slop around. You've also got 1 in the seat here, and this one's almost no good because it's so shallow, drinks just fall over. A really huge thing that I really like about this is there's a 12-volt up the front and a USB here, which connects to your Apple CarPlay, because then if you've got a mount here, you don't have to have the cable going right across. So the mount up there is really handy. You've got some good molded spots in the doors. You've got the 3 seats here, but then you can pedal it down and you've got your spot for your courier folder and a pen. It's obviously the floating 8-inch usual Ford Apple CarPlay screen. The floating look is excellent. I haven't met a person who ever said that doesn't look cool. What they've done here is, I'm not sure if this is leather, but it's a leather feel. So the steering wheel, they've softened that up. They've softened the gear knob as well. And so there's lots, then you've got some nice soft rubber here. Buttons galore. So technology-wise, you're going to want to take the time to get to know all of the buttons in it, because you look at it and you think, look at all this on the steering wheel, look at all this here, oh, what's this light thing, what does that do? There's so much technology, and you just want to take the time to get to know it. So you've got your auto start stop, so it starts at, it stops at the lights and turns the engine off. You can isolate that and turn that off so it just runs all the time. The buttons move to way over here. It's a little bit inconvenient, but you can do it. You've got your traction control button here. You've got your mode button, which switches you from normal to eco mode. When you turn it on to eco mode, you turn off the car and get out, and then you've got to turn it on again every time you get in the car. Unless there's a setting I don't know about, it's just a bit annoying that you've got to keep turning eco mode on. You can also turn off the parking sensors if it's beeping like crazy, beep, 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 and you know there's something there and you're just waiting. You can actually hit that button and turn off the parking sensors. It's also got, reversing camera, and it's one-touch zoom, so you can zoom in and see a bit closer. If you've got a tow bar on the back, you can use that for zooming. You've got heated seats as well. So heated seats is a great option. I really like that. You've got a rear demister as well at the back. Now you've got the courier barrier here. It's slightly claustrophobic with it there, and also you lose a bit of vision through the window, so you can't really see out the back as well with this center headrest, as well as the jail bars there as well. Sort of cuts down your visibility, but it's great with air conditioning and keeping it all, and the noise as well. So speed sign recognition, which is really good. So you get a flashing sign when you go a little circle that's flashing whenever you go over the speed limit. So it recognizes what the speed limit is where you're at, and then you get the flashing sign if you're above it, so that's really handy as well. Obviously the car has all the things that you expect: adaptive cruise control, it has lane guide management, it has blind spot information system, so it knows when people are in your blind spot, and you get that little warning light as well. It gets lane guidance as well, and it's slightly more aggressive lane guidance than I've ever used before, because it actually really pulls you in line and really tugs you back on the road when you kind of just stray a little bit. And it's actually probably one of the better lane managements on some of the Fords that I've driven. Adaptive cruise control is just killer. It's a great way to not get caught speeding. You just set it at 60. If the person in front of you is accelerating or braking inconsistently, the car will keep a distance, and you can also set that distance with a varying of ranges of distance that you can set, which is very convenient. So, if you're like doing 60, you can pull up a bit closer and have that distance a bit shorter. If you're on the highway, you want to have that back a bit further, so you can back that off. It's a real easy button here on the steering wheel to adjust that. So the eco mode, haven't used that much because it keeps turning itself off. So I would have done some tests on the amount of fuel that you'll save in the eco mode. It also has My Key. My Key is really interesting. So you've got your master key, and you can set up slave keys. And these slave keys, you can go through the settings in the car and change all the settings: speed limiter, speed warnings. You can turn on and off functions for that key. So if you've got an apprentice and you want to make sure he's driving safely and he can't, do anything in the car or go faster than you want him to, you can set that. His key has all that settings. That's really handy. It's a bit of a mission to set up, but once you get it set up, I think it's a killer feature about this car. Stereo system is surprisingly good. You get a good bit of bottom end from these woofers down in the doors, plus you've got tweeters up here, so I'm guessing it's only 4 speakers here. You've got your automatic light settings here, so you can have it on automatic, and you can set how long they stay on after you get out of the car. Obviously there's turn lights off, and then if you turn it to that's fog lights, so that brings the fog lights, and you can also adjust the pitch of the fog lights by turning this knob here to get the pitch higher or lower. So you can do that also as well when you're in fog light mode. And we'll leave that in auto. So you can see that I've just got it on the digital speedo, but you just simply cycle through. You can have all your trip computers and all that, your modes, and then you can cycle through again, hit the settings button, then you can get into the deeper settings of the car. So it pays to take time to go through this screen and set up the car exactly how you like. You can have it set obviously to direction, so the compass. You can have it set to the music or your device that's connected, or then you go back up through the settings. So if you want to have the settings, you hit the car, hit the settings menu, and there you are, driving through all the features of the car. So at the back you've got dual barn doors as opposed to the top lift. Excellent way to lock them off here like that. They lock off, they stay in position. When you get to the back, you can see you've got a fitted molded plastic flooring. The width here is just under 1.4 meters in between the wheel arches. Classic pallets, just under 1.2 meters. So you've got about 100 centimeters spare gap on each side, so you can fit stuff in. And the reason why you've got the barn doors is that you can bring a forklift and just drop it straight in. These panels are good because you can actually pop out these little plugs, and then you can, screw stuff in here, some mountains, put nets on it or anything like that, or mount carpet to it to keep the noise down in the back. Got the plastic front grille. You've got the fog lights here, as well as running lights there. parking sensors here on the bumper. One killer thing about this is the visibility in vans has always been a terror, but this one has obviously the mirror indicator here. It has a blind spot indicator lamp comes on here as well, and it's a split mirror, so it actually has a split on it where you can see wider at the bottom and closer onto the side of the car here, so it's eliminating blind spots altogether. So another unique thing about the Ford Transit van is the roof racks. They're quite unique. You just jump up, kind of lift it up, and you're set. There you go, that's my look at the 2019.5 Ford Transit van. If you want to take one for a drive, go see the crew down at Stillwell Ford in Unley. They'd be happy to spin you around the block in one.